morning, sir, ma'am. I'm Sergeant Romo, and this is a staff briefing unclassified. Today we'll be focusing on the makeup of the Chinese Rifle Squad. As China becomes a more significant threat to the United States, it's important that we as future officers and Army leaders understand how their Army works and how it is structured. Much like our own, everything starts at the squad level, so that's where we will begin. Today we'll be focusing on personnel, weapons, as well as the history to the Chinese Army. They've experienced a lot of change in the last couple of years, and that's important to understand why they did this change and how it affects their current system. So before we dive into the Rifle Squad specifically, we're going to start off with a little back story. So the Chinese Army initially went through their revitalization in 2015 when the Chinese government decided that their army in its current state was not equipped to fight a near peer such as the United States. They also saw that combat was going more towards large-scale operations over different terrains, such as brigade on brigade. This revitalization of the Chinese Army focused on preparing for large-scale battles over different terrain, and this is why now the Chinese Rifle Squad falls under a Combined Arms Brigade, which takes components from the Air Force, Navy, and Army, as well as amphibious units, and puts them all together, so if they're ever to fight, they're all already connected and able to fight as one. So kind of breaking down the Chinese Rifle Squad, it consists of 9 people, and that can be broken down into 2 teams. So the first is a squad leader, and typically they're of a rank equivalent to a staff sergeant or sergeant in the United States. Their second in command is a deputy squad leader, typically the rank of corporal. And then the following people in their squad have the same rank equivalent to the United States of private. So that's going to be a rocket gunner, a deputy rocket gunner who also doubles as a rifleman, 4 additional riflemen, as well as a designated machine gunner. The Chinese Rifle Squad can be further broken down into 2 teams. For simplicity, we'll refer to these as Alpha and Bravo teams. Alpha team is led by the squad leader and consists of the rocket gunner, deputy rocket gunner, as well as an additional rifleman. Bravo team is led by a deputy squad leader and consists of the machine gunner and 3 riflemen. They have an asymmetrical formation, and one of the big differences between the Chinese teams as well as compared to the United States teams is, for us, the squad leader is not directly in charge of a team, instead overlooks the 2 teams, and typically formations will stand in between them. Whereas with the Chinese fire teams, a squad leader is directly in charge of a fire team. So the deputy squad leader and the squad leader essentially work together in maneuvering these 2 teams. So then the weapons used by these, so the traditional service weapon equivalent to the M4 in the United States is the QBZ-95. It uses a 5.8 millimeter ammo. It has an effective point range of 40 meters and an area range of 600 meters to 800 meters. The QBZ has a rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute and uses a traditional magazine box. This weapon is employed by the squad leader, the deputy rocket gunner, who also doubles as rifleman, and then the additional 4 riflemen, as well as the deputy squad leader. In addition to the QBZ-95, the squad is also equipped with a QBB-95, which is a light machine gun equivalent to the United States SAW. It has an effective range of 600 to 800 meters. It uses the same 5.8 millimeter rounds and has a max effective range of 800 meters, or a max firing rate of 800 meters. And then this is used by the machine gunner. And then finally, there is the PF-98A. This is the rocket launcher and anti-tank rocket. This is the equivalent to the United States Javelin, and this has a max firing range of 800 meters and uses 120 millimeter rounds. And this is obviously the weapon of the rocket gunner. So that's kind of it for the Chinese Rifle Squad. Any questions before we move on? Yes, Corporal Prado? Okay. For those of you guys that didn't hear the question, Her question was, what's the difference between the Chinese Special Forces squads and their traditional light infantry rifle squads? Unfortunately, at the time, I do not have an answer for that, but when I do some more research, I'll definitely email you and let you know. That's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. To kind of recap what we went over today, it was the basic breakdown of the Chinese Rifle Squad, which can be further divided into two teams, the Alpha Team and Bravo Team. Alpha Team consisting of the squad leader, rocket gunner, deputy rocket gunner / rifleman, and an additional rifleman. And then the Bravo Team consists of the deputy squad leader, light machine gunner, and 3 riflemen. And they use the QBZ-95, which is the equivalent to the M4, a QBB-95, which is an equivalent to a SAW, and then a PF-98A, which is equivalent to the Javelin. Thank you for your time.